Hello, everybody, and welcome. Happy New Year, as it is January 1st, 2025. This is actually my first video of my channel, so introductions are in order. I am a 41-year-old intermediate crocheter, I would suppose you would call it. I have been crocheting for maybe 9 years now. It's give or take. My journey started when I saw a how to crochet book at Walmart, and I got interested mostly because my mom wanted, or not wanted, but she actually used to crochet, and she made some really beautiful blankets when I was younger. I unfortunately lost my blanket in a fire when I was younger, and I do miss that blanket. However, I wanted to try to rekindle that hobby for her and maybe learn it myself. So I asked her to teach me because the book confused me to no end. I don't understand the pictures of the hook with the squiggly lines that are meant to be the yarn. I can't understand it. I will never understand it. So my mom did try to help me. Unfortunately, with her being right-handed and me being left-handed, it was very difficult. We got pretty frustrated from the get-go. However, I did manage to get a swatch done, which was pretty ghastly, but I did get it done. However, I did also forget about it up until the point where my now best friend and I met through our son's Boy Scout adventures. So she tried teaching me as well. Of course, her being right-handed and me being left-handed, it was not really easy. However, we did try really all the possible ways. Me sitting in front of her, I just couldn't get the hang of holding the yarn or the hook or how they were supposed to intertwine with each other, because what I was seeing was not what she was doing. I know that now. However, she got me so excited to start making washcloths or pot holders. Yes, it was pot holders, that I really wanted to learn how to crochet. So I went on our lovely YouTube University and I watched video after video after video. I was bound and determined to learn how to crochet properly. So I eventually got the hang of it, to the point where I learned how to hold my hook, how to hold my yarn, that it doesn't really matter how you hold your yarn or hook. It just, it works out. But anyway, I learned all that. I learned my chain stitches, my single crochets. I relearned all that after it'd been a couple years since I actually managed to do my very first project, which I guess I probably shouldn't say it's been 8 or 9 years, but more 6 or 7. But that experience to me counted. I'm so sorry. I wish I could edit, but you are going to have to see me pulling my phone for absolutely no reason. But anyway, yeah, it was an interesting, sorry, it's been a while since I've made a bandana. A journey for sure, but once I got the hang of doing the slip knot, the chain, and the single crochet, I really went with it. Like, it was like that. It was amazing. I was, lights went on in my head and I was like, let's go. my very first project, because I had no one to tell me, because I don't know if Holly was around. Well, she was. I got her into diamond painting. But I didn't want to say anything because I was like all excited I could do this. So my very first project was a single crochet blanket. It took me about a month to make, but I was so excited. And I still have that blanket, even though it's a present to my other best friend who lives in California. So I didn't mean to do that. Then learned how to make pot holders. And I loved it up to the point where I had to sew in the middle to close it. However, it was worth the issues I had with it. I actually got comfortable doing pot holders for several years. I did nothing but pot holders and blankets because I was afraid to do anything else. I literally was afraid. I was very intimidated by everything around me. I was young and silly way back then. But I did start branching out. I think it was 2 years ago, in which I started making dun 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 pot holders. Am I supposed to? I think I'm supposed to. Yeah, I am. Pot holders. And I was just like, this is awesome. I'm also gonna try something new with this bandana, so we're gonna have some fun. But anyway, back to my story. I started doing washcloths. I was kind of surprised by how well I was able to do them, because I did learn the granny stitch or the granny square when I learned how to do blankets, because you can do granny square blankets. And I was super excited about the granny square. I am not gonna lie. So I went and I what is it? I just ran off with the washcloths. But because I did that, I started thinking, hey, I can do more. And I also started going to a knitting club over at our local library. Now, this is a nice informal place to go to. Everybody was super welcoming to me, and I was so very thankful to them for allowing me to join in their group. So I was allowed to crochet while these nice older ladies knitted. And it was so fun. I had fun. But because of that, it opened my mind even more, in which I started making shawls. I had done a shawl or two here and there over the last year and a half. I have also done a couple things. I can't really remember everything that I did, but this last year, 2024, was the year that everything really changed for me, because the knitting club's leader, her daughter came and she decided to show me how to make an amigurumi chicken. I believe it was the Mabel chicken pattern. I did not actually get the pattern. She just let me use the pattern that she had. But it was an amazing learning experience. And I was so intimidated. I'd always wanted to learn amigurumi, and it was so difficult for me to think about actually doing that and learning and everything. So just being able to have that experience kind of was amazing. I was stoked. So let's see, how did that work? That worked out real nice. Look at that. I like that. So I'm gonna have to look at my pattern again. It's been a while since I've made these bandanas, and I'm also tearing the yarn. So once I finished the chicken, which was not a fun, cute, adorable little chicken, but it was pretty iffy, I decided it wasn't as intimidating as it seemed. So I went and, okay, 1, 2, 3, skip. And I made a horse for my mom for Mother's Day. Yes, this was halfway through the year, kind of. It was May, because I decided to do it last minute. But either case, come on. I made my mom my first all by myself amigurumi, and let me tell you, I did not know how to color change. I did not know how to any of this stuff. I just learned from memory and hoped for the best. I did try watching some videos, and everything like that, but it was funny looking. Let's just say that. But it was definitely a learning experience that I don't think I could live without, because it made me say, hey, how do I learn all this? So I actually started watching videos and talking to new older crocheters, people who've crocheted a lot longer than I have, getting advice from people. I know, shout out to Little Nerd. She's on a lot of different platforms, but she's helped me considerably. She even showed me how to do an invisible join, or not an invisible join, but an invisible decrease, and that was awesome. So I think that I had become an amigurumi crocheter, and I stand to that today, even though right now I am making a bandana because it's the only one I can make out of Mote Memory. And this came from a shawl pattern that I found online, and it was just super easy. So anyway, that's my version of my story, and these are my babies. This is Butwolf, Horace, and Hugo, and I loved doing all three of these. These are my main biggies. I crochet all my first projects except for a few, including the horse that I made my mom. But my favorites are these loaf cats, which you can find on Etsy. And then I had fun learning all these different techniques, like making folds in a hat, or making an ear and attaching it, and everything. It's just, it's amazing. So what I want out of this channel is a video, a vlog, of my journey from here on out, because I hope to someday, hopefully in the next 5 years, start a fiber shop. I want to learn how to spin. I want to learn how to deal with people, obviously. But I want to grow the yarn community in my village, because it's an amazing thing. So if you stuck around this long, I appreciate it. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful New Year's. And I will see you soon in my next video.